Hey, Don Pikula here, and today I want to take you on a tour of my home studio. I get asked a lot, what's the layout look like? What kind of computers do you have? How many screens are you using? So I thought I'd make this video to answer all of those questions and more, including, by the way, not just the professional setup when I'm doing my broadcast, but also some of the redundant setups that I have so that I'm never out. I'm never in a position where I can't broadcast. By the way, even down at the bottom here, I have my remote studio that I can take with me on the go. So first thing I'll kind of walk you through, and first thing you may notice is, I don't have, it's not a big space here. We're not talking about a huge office. In fact, there's one desk on this side that's, what's that taking up, about 4 feet or so, and on this side a duplicate setup. And from here, I run all of my events. I run all my events, all my coaching, all the workshops, the YouTube videos, everything that I do comes out basically on this main setup. And so I'm able to be home almost too much now, and still connect with the world and my clients from anywhere. Yes, there's still some travel because I will take this setup and I will put this into people's homes or offices, but I wanted to show you how it looks here. Now, one of the things I want you to notice right off the bat that you may look at are these 2 lights. These 2 lights here are just lights from like the Walmart or Meijer or whatever kind of store you have locally, or even Amazon. You'll notice this is all the lights in the entire room. Like, I don't have this overhead light on right now. And yes, the window's open, but normally I just draw that closed. In fact, let me just show you. This is a really big, thick curtain. And so what I do, I'm able to block out light that doesn't matter whether it's day or night, this is the lighting in the room right here. Let me just take a look from your viewpoint. Yeah, that's it. That's all the light in this entire studio are these 2 lights. Now I'll show you what I do on the backup studio in a moment, but again, this is, I'm not spending hundreds of dollars on crazy lights. I mean, this is $12. We got $25 worth of lighting here for the entire studio. Now, what you'll notice, there's 2 shelves, shelf built here and a shelf built down here. And what that gives you the ability to do is everything up top here on the top shelf. And by the way, if you're going to do this, make sure you find the studs. Okay, these shelves are braced up. Make sure you find the studs of the rooms. They're not just putting the drywall into the wall. They need to go into the studs for the strength. But all this was just a regular shelf. And on here, I have my computer back over here. That's the computer, the main computer. The main power port here, that just in case you have a surge or I was hit by lightning or whatever, but just in case you get a power surge in the neighborhood or in your home, you want to protect everything. So this will blow first before it even starts affecting the power of the computer. You'll see all the ports I have. This is why I like using a desktop when I'm home. It's because I have 1, 2, 3. I got 4 cameras hooked up to this right now, plus whatever kind of microphones and storage devices. I just love having all the ports. I'm going to take a look at how many ports you're looking at there. I mean, that's a significant amount of ports I'm able to connect here, including, by the way, this little secret, hardwired internet. This is not off of Wi-Fi. That's hardwired internet. So the reason that's important is because, man, sometimes Wi-Fi will throw you off. And I want to make sure I'm always connected when I need to be. So the other thing you'll notice up top here, I do have a monitor that when I want to do a stand-up version, I just simply turn it on. It's a duplicate of my main monitor. So this is the standing up version. Let me take you now into the sitting down version. And so the sitting down version here, I added a second shelf. This shelf is also attached to the wall right here. And the reason for that shelf being attached to the wall, I gave enough space top to bottom to fit my monitors, but then also fit these shelves. So this shelving unit here and this shelving unit here they're just a couple bucks on Amazon, and all they do is they give me these little cubbies to place things like my microphone, maybe a little notepad. I keep a lot of remote controls over here, including my book if I want to show it. So I got access to that kind of stuff. But you'll notice I have one main monitor that's pretty decent. This is a decent monitor. And these monitors on the left-hand side and right-hand side are the same monitor, same style. They're just a little bit smaller, so I put them at the same spot. They're flanked, they're up on top, and that gives me a good 3-monitor system. I usually keep Zoom in the audience over here on the left-hand side. This is OBS. This is the free software that I use right here, and I teach people how to implement and broadcast from a laptop or anywhere where they are using OBS, my PowerPoint, and then I will normally bring up, and over here you'll see this is where I normally will have a website, my website, or a site I want to take somebody to. So that's kind of the setup here. You'll notice right off the bat that this clock right here, right in the middle, I love having this clock because I can actually have a camera that will show the clock, and that'll let people know that if they've invested an hour of my time or maybe a 2-hour block, whatever it was, that I keep on time. I can keep track. And I like that I used to have a blue one there, but the blue light really kind of reflected on me poorly. So now I have this. It's a very nice mellow light, keeps me up to date, keeps me flowing and on track. This is its remote. It can be a little stopwatch, and it can either count down, count up, whatever I want it to do. By the way, I'll put links to all this stuff attached to this video. So in case you want to see this, I'll probably do an Amazon list. An Amazon list. Now that'll be Amazon US. So if you comment wherever I post this video, if I'm doing it for YouTube or wherever you see it, if you comment on this video what country you're from, I'll go get you the links from that country. So tell me now if you're from Canada, Singapore, Australia, wherever you're from, I'll go get those links and I'll put them in the chat. But if people are just from the US listening, I'm going to give you the links to US Amazon. They're not affiliate links. They're just my list that I use when I need to ship this somewhere and buy one of these setups. So once I have the 3 monitors in place, keep in mind the 4th monitor as my backup, or when I'm standing up, the next thing you'll notice is this microphone. So this microphone is a Shure SM7, and so I have it here where I can slide up out of the way when it needs to, and I don't even have to have it anywhere even in the shot. It can be totally out of the way, and I just bring it in, grab it, bring it in, no problem. So this microphone, because I decided to use this microphone, I have to use this mixer. If I don't have this mixer with it, I won't get the right sound. I won't get the right the right power, the right mix of not only just the microphone, but also the videos that I'm playing, whether they're testimonials or music or whatever it is. So this microphone connects to this mixer. With each one of these slides up and down, I'm able to control the volume of first my microphone, so how people hear me, and then what they hear in terms of any video that I'm playing. I don't even have these other ones. I don't even need all these other ones. I could program these as pads to play music or sound effects. I don't bother with that. I let that be. Now, what you'll notice here, and I'm going to bring this really in tight so you can really see it good. This is the InstaLink camera right here, the InstaLink 360. Now, what I love about this camera is A, how small it is, but B, it's on the gimbal system that once I have it tuned in, I can move it, inch by inch if I really need to. But you'll notice from my view, this, and you'll see right up in there, if the camera in front of my face, you see it like that. Now, what you'll notice is it's actually about 1/3 of the way down on the screen, right? It's not sitting at the top, it's actually 1/3 of the way down. So when I look through to my PowerPoint presentation, I'm actually looking directly at the camera to do that. And I like that it hangs down. That's a critical point. And if you look where it's hooked up, so that sits on this gooseneck, and this gooseneck connects back up to the shelf. See that? It goes right from the shelf, it goes down and around, hangs down off the monitor right here. And that gooseneck is just connected to the shelf. This is just my phone charger. Connected to the shelf right here. So that's how the camera is positioned. So I have a little bit of screen vision. The other thing that you'll see right below that camera, so here's the InstaLink 360. Right below that, here's a camera that is a C922. And if I turn it up, you'll see it. There's the C922. And it points straight down. It actually points straight down on purpose. And what it's pointing at is the desk. And so what will happen is if I move my keyboard back and I pull my notes up, what I'm able to do is take whatever's on the desk. And if you'll notice here, I don't have the green screen up, so let me turn me off so I'm not blocking it. But what you'll see is the writing pad right here. That's what's on the desk. Let me back up even further, you can see it at the same time. So whatever's on the writing pad down here ends up on the screen. And so I can draw, show, I can demonstrate, whatever I need to do. And if my green screen's on, I'm in that picture as well. So again, this camera's pointing straight down at the desk. Now, both those cameras, the keyboard, the mouse, even the Stream Deck, which is my remote control, I'll get into that later, all of this gets run up to this USB powered hub right here. Now, the importance of this USB powered hub is not only is it connected to the computer, right? All these things now run all the way back over to the computer, but it provides power from the wall. So it's not pulling power from the computer. I have right now, obviously every slot's full except for the power ones. Like these are just power. If they're red, they're blue, they're going to the computer and power. But this is where I plug in my drives. I have my backup drive and my main drive. I have a third drive that I keep, but that's a different video. It's a different story. But then what I'm able to do, and you'll notice this on a lot of PCs, you see those there's 3 USBs here. That's where the cameras go. The cameras go directly into the computer, and then these guys are my additionals, keyboards, mouse, drives, backup files, things like that. Now, there is a camera that I didn't mention, and I'll point that out now. It's actually hanging up on the ceiling. You'll see my green screen, but I also have this camera. And so this camera is positioned to look down at the entire setup down here. So when I want to show people the entire setup, I can simply hit the back camera, and that's the camera that's up on the wall right there. In fact, if I look at it, there it is, right there on the wall. So I can show people the entire layout and setup of the studio. So the other thing that I think is important to look at, and this is purely from a state of organization, is having these little cubbies and having the space down here is mission critical. Man, if I was trying to build all this off the desk and I didn't have these things mounted to the wall, I think I'd be in a world of trouble. Hey, Don Pikula here, and I hope you're enjoying the video you're watching. I just want to take a moment and invite you to a challenge that we do every month, where we'll take you from a before of a green piece of material, maybe even a terrible webcam, and within a very short period of time, 3 days or less, we'll have you in your own production studio, where you can produce video for the world from your home, your office, anywhere you are, utilizing free software. Again, it's 3 days. If you click the link below, you'll be able to register. Now, back to the video you were watching. I like having these available, all this extra space, and you'll notice I can put extra drawers, I can put extra things for pens and pencils. I got everything kind of cubbied and set away, so these drawers down here too, that I can just pull what I need when I need it. Up to and including, by the way, over here on the side, I can get my book. This is the leadership book, Influence, Lead, and Sell. This is the studio book. Other books I'm interested in if I want to demonstrate anything or pull anything, do anything. I got a lot of things at my disposal here that I can use on an instant for a workshop or a demonstration. So the other thing I'll tell you on here, you already saw the pad with a pen, any kind of pen you got in there. But this is the Stream Deck. And what I love about the Stream Deck, first thing you'll notice, well, Don, why is it sideways? Well, this is the normal way to do the Stream Deck, right? And, 5 rows of 3, I have a hard time feeling where I am 5 rows of 3. But when I turn it and I have 3 rows of 5, all I have to do is feel left, right, center. And I can feel left, right, center a whole lot easier than I can do anything else. If you look, what this does is this Stream Deck actually controls the OBS. So if I push the Me Scene, it changes to me, and there I am. Now Zoom would be me with an audience, and look, there's no green screen up there right now, otherwise I'd be cut out there perfectly. Then I can push the writing pad. Any button that I push, I can take my audience with me anywhere I want to go, including that back camera I showed you. But again, all I'm doing is pushing these buttons. And by the way, the difference between the 15 button and the 32 button, don't worry about it. I like this because I can go over and I got multiple screens set up with multiple buttons. So I'm never going to run out of buttons on the 15 button Stream Deck. But again, the main thing I like about it is it's easy to find, easy to feel your way step by step through a presentation. What I spend 80% of the presentation, 90% of the presentation in these 2 rows. The orange buttons move my PowerPoint, and these are my main scenes. The rest is cool. It's links, it's GIFs, it's the back cam, it's everything else that I need. But I really like having the Stream Deck there. So the last thing I'll mention here is I do use, and I keep it right down here, I do use ear monitors when I'm at home, especially. With these ear monitors, well, the reason that I need them is, there's other people that live here too. My wife and, our 3 boys, 2 dogs. And so what I like about these ear monitors, they're not normal headphones, these are actually ear monitors. And I can plug them, I put them in my ear. And what I can now do is I can then control the volume out of here and hear exactly what my recording is going to hear. And then no one else has to hear anything else. Right? Yes, they hear my voice, and I understand my voice probably barely, it may barely get through the wall because we got pretty good construction here. But I'm sure they can still hear me talking on meetings, things like that. But they don't have to hear everybody else and everything else. So that's a huge, huge help. I do also have speakers tucked back in here and back in here that will play this audio or play YouTube videos or music, whatever I want to play, available there as well. But I like having the ear monitors. I think that's an important piece. I just keep them hooked down there out of the way for when I need them. Now, what I want to talk about for a second is, when I set this up in people's home or office, I'm not talking about a lot of space. You'll see I'm using like 4.5 feet, maybe 5 feet, 5-foot shelf, 5-foot shelf. I mean, that's it. I don't need a crazy amount of space. The thing that I do need to do, and I'll show you this now, is I do need to be able to bring down a green screen. And so when I bring down the green screen sits up on the ceiling, and I keep it rolled up. And so all that I need to do is pull it off of here, and the whole green screen just rolls right on down. Now, the reason that's so cool, the reason I like having the green screen this way, is because now this metal bar and these little zip ties keeps everything stretched. It doesn't need to be perfect, but just enough so it's stretched. The weight of this metal bar also keeps it flush, and it hangs right from the ceiling. And most of the time, that's it. That's all I need to do. But one trick I like to do is I take the metal bar, and I actually want to have this white chair behind me disappear. So I'll literally just drop it over the chair and just kind of snug it up a little bit by giving it a twist. And now the chair won't be visible in my presentations. The chair is gone. All right, the chair's gone. It doesn't matter how close I am, because of the lights that I have that block out the shadows, even the wrinkles go away. In fact, I can probably show you that even just right here. If I turn this filter on, the chroma key, let me bring you over here in a second. There we go. So now let me show you exactly what this looks like from my perspective, or the perspective of the audience, and why green screen is so important. Let me bring you over here. Let me have you take a peek at what green screen looks like when it comes to your presentations. So let me move myself just to the side a little bit so you can see it. So green screen now, everything that I was going to show you before with the Zoom audience, I'm cut out. And so now I can be connected to the audience. When I bring that writing pad back, so I turn myself off, I turn myself back on, and now I'm connected to what it is that I'm teaching, or what it is that I'm going through, what it is that I'm demonstrating. It's such an important role. There you go. I moved you over to the side a little bit. There you are. It's such an important piece to the puzzle that to me it's absolutely mission critical. But when I'm done, the green screen for me it can just roll up and move right out of the way. So I'll roll that up now and I'll show you what that's like. This is the one part. If there was one thing I'm going to fix or one thing I'm going to work on, it is rolling up, a better way to roll up this green screen. Because right now, I got to reach up and literally roll it up out of the way. As you might imagine, there's got to be a better way to do that. I tuck it, and I'm locked. For days I don't want to use green, I have a black curtain that I can pull across. And now it's black. So I can use either background I want. In fact, I could probably do green the same way I did this black and be just fine. In fact, I'll probably work on that and do that, because it would really make a difference. I think I'll paint the green the same way. But I wanted to show you, you could have either environment. It really doesn't matter. I can move this to either side the way I go, or bring the whole thing back, just like that. So what I wanted to mention earlier, and I didn't get to it yet, was not only do I have the entire studio set up here, I mean the main one, but there's almost nothing that I do in this setup that I couldn't also do in this duplicate setup here. So on the other side, this is on one side, I have the main studio, but on this side, I have a 2-monitor setup that'll do just about everything that I need it to do through OBS. And now it's not complicated at all, right? There's nothing here that you couldn't do at home. Most people have 2 monitors, right? Most people have a computer. You could use the Yeti just like this. I also, on the road, I will take with me the Samsung Go mic. So this microphone, I mean, literally fits in the palm of your hand and can do pretty much everything the Yeti can. But I usually keep this packed up, which is why I use the Yeti as my backup. But I have my 2 screens. So I can put Zoom over here. I can put OBS and my PowerPoint slides and everything here. I'm absolutely, completely redundant. But you might ask me, okay, now what about the lighting? Well, all I'll do is I'll just kick a little indirect light off of the wall here. And I'm good to go. The lighting on this is just fine. Mostly because here's my little Instalink camera. And when you have the Instalink camera, the lighting becomes so much easier to handle. But this would be my backup spot. I also use this for video editing. I keep very little on that computer, as little as possible. That's pretty much presentation. The bulk of the work, the video editors, that kind of stuff, I do on here. And so that's kind of why this setup's here. Not only as backup, but for functionality as well. So it's pretty easy just to swing around, turn around, work on that side. Now, you know, again, I'll give you a list of everything you have on here. This has absolutely changed the way, not just that I present, but you know, I'm on setup number 300 right now, studio number 300. Well, it's like 310, but I lost count, had to recount after about 250. What you're able to do with a computer, a couple monitors, and I'll tell you, I probably have total, if I was gonna go through what I bought on this, it probably took me $20,000 worth of equipment to work with, play with, test. You know, some of which worked great, some of it didn't. I'm down now that if somebody wants this exact setup in their home or their office, including the desk and my time to do it, I'm right at that $20,000 range. So yes, I got equipment costs. Then I got cameras, I got monitors, I got the standing. This is not a standing desk, but I tend to ship a standing desk. The computer, I got, you know, the mics, the mixers, everything that's on that list you can see. But then within 2 days, a day and a half, really, I mean, one day for me to receive everything, set it all up, and then be at their on location, setting everything up, making sure it looks good, functions well, sit them down in this chair, have them practice. Man, it changes the world. And there's a lot of times I go in and they've already spent $30,000, $50,000, $70,000, even $100,000 on equipment alone, and yet the studio isn't functional or doesn't look very good. And so for a fraction of that investment, let alone if you built a $300,000 studio or $500,000 studio, or even the other week I was in a $2 million studio, there's very little that you can do there that I can't have you doing here for a fraction of the cost. And in some moves, I'd say it's even more impactful in this studio, let alone the convenience of not needing the crew, not needing the technicians, being able to fire this up yourself when you have that idea and are so inspired. So the reason I wanted to make this video is show you it's approachable, it's doable. You don't need to have a ton of space. You don't need to have a ton of fancy equipment. Everything in here is absolutely pro level that we're doing. I had a client this last month. He was in front of about 6,000 people, and he was at home. 6,000 people on there. The online events are not going away. The in-person events are phenomenal, great. I travel to them too, but to support before, during, and after online remotely, yet still look professional, changes the world. So again, hope you enjoyed this video, and hope you found some of it helpful. Again, if you comment in the links, I'll make sure I get you the links to everything that you saw.